It seems like February, post Super Bowl is real dull, and then March is going to be like electric. You're going to have some major football releases. You're going to have March Madness. You're going to have F1 starting. You're going to have some big time card shows. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And today we have quite a bit of stuff to get into. We're going to talk with, we're going to get into some Facebook questions. We're going to do a little play of the week. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl prop bets. But first, we're going to start with what's on your mind. Ty, you came into the recording hot and heavy, kind of got that vibe going on. So we'll start with you, see what's on your mind first.
The main thing that's on my mind was, and I texted you guys last night. Sorry, I came in hot with a little volume. Was I a little excited?
I was not prepared. Nothing. We're good. No,
Can
you're
I
good.
get a little production in the background?
Nope. That's not
Yeah, I watched the Knicks blow their second game in a row. This one was to Josh Giddey, the unassuming Australian that plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Had a, I think, 28-point triple-double at the Garden. Youngest player ever with back-to-back triple-doubles. And when
what a stat that is.
Right? He's got 3 on the year. He's 19 years old. His jump shot is broke, but he just balls. I don't even know how he put up 28. But that's what's on my mind. This dude that I took for Rookie of the Year on some, I just like this game, is actually balling. And he buried my Knicks last night. After the Knicks blew a 23-point second-half lead to Portland, they came back, had pretty much put up 2 points in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder to choke up an L. So I was in this weird conflicting Josh Giddey's going for a 30-point triple-double on his debut at the Garden against my squad. Kind of hurt. Felt like a Bengals-Patriots game or something.
Josh Giddey's one of those guys that I was saying this to you guys yesterday. He's a guy who you go on Twitter on a Wednesday night. It's like, hey, here's a Josh Giddey pass that breaks your brain. He's super talented. It seems like
the league is so deep like that.
Yeah.
Ty, is that all you got on your mind?
Why is there other things?
No, brother. I mean, that was 2 minutes. I'm just
that's all I got today. That's all I got today. I could go into Champions League starts today, and Mbappe's back, and I think it's a big year for Mbappe cards, personally speaking.
Did he transfer teams? No?
Not yet. Still on PSG, but he's supposed to be going to Madrid, who they're playing in the Champions League today. Huge matchup.
Interesting.
And then my just last little thing is that we've got 3 straight first-time winners on the PGA Tour. And I'm still bullish on what's about to go down with all things golf, personally speaking.
Okay.
That's what's on my mind.
All right, Lou, what do you got?
To be honest with you guys, I'm kind of in the pit of sadness with sports. I have nothing to look forward to for at least a few weeks now. Thank God F1's coming back. But there's absolutely nothing going on. I have nothing to watch. I don't know what I'm going to do in my free time. I got nothing to watch on TV, so I don't know what's going to happen.
3 o'clock today.
What's it 3 o'clock today? Come on, bro. I can't.
Oh, it's Paris versus Madrid.
Right, and I can't even get myself interested.
Can't get up? So you got Neymar and Mbappe, Messi all playing.
Yeah, maybe I'll tune into that. But yeah, it's just a
little background action. Wet the beak.
Yeah. It's a dark time right now. So I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe I'll take this time to get myself organized. I have to move, so I have to get myself organized with my cards. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
What's going on with the move?
We're moving. We're going to have a new setup. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it.
Is the tree coming with?
The tree is coming with, yeah. I'm keeping the tree. I might get a new tree.
You know what's crazy is we've recorded, 85, 90 episodes of Card Talk, and Tyler has definitely had the most backgrounds. It's probably been 10 to 15 different ones. I've probably had 4 different ones, mostly consistent, with 2. Lou's had 3, 2. Lou, have you had anything else other than this for a normal recording?
Credit to my consistency.
I mean, just shows up day in and day
show
out.
up, get the time card in, stamped out. I'm here to work. Same situation every single day. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good job.
I mean,
it's
Thank
a
you.
good
credit
job.
to Lou.
Thank you. Thank you for
I
saying
think it
that.
actually tells a lot about ourselves. It's a good thing. Good point you brought up, Rye.
I don't disagree.
I mean,
Rye, what's
we
on
see
your
that
mind?
Rye has the new YouTube studio, like green screen backdrop, looking all sharp.
Yeah, you got Tyler's wall color. It's good.
Yeah, it is.
Tyler's
You're
wall
right.
color. No, this is actually like dark gray / black. I mean, Tyler's says his is like blue and looks brown. So a little different. So what's on my mind? I definitely would have said the first thing Lou said is, there's no football for 7 months. And I don't enjoy watching baseball at all if that ever comes back. Like I can watch soccer or basketball here and there, but the enjoyment's just not the same. What?
That
Lou,
was an
you look
unnecessary
disgusted.
shot. That was an unnecessary shot at baseball.
Yeah, I'd rather watch
Baseball had
anything other
nothing.
than-
Baseball had nothing to do with this conversation, and you just took a shot for no reason.
Yeah, it's just the worst
I
thing.
saw
mean,
it. You're the worst.
Yeah, I did see it. It was a
Snooze
total
fest.
burial of the
You're a
sport.
snooze fest.
So I agree with Lou there. Shout out to F1 for coming back. I think you guys said Bahrain's in 3-4 weeks?
March 20th.
We got the
March 20th.
Genesis Open this week, guys, and you guys are just burying that there's no sports.
The Genesis Open.
Yeah, the Riv.
Now, the one thing I will say is it seems like, I was just thinking about this when Lou said, that's in a couple weeks. It seems like February, post Super Bowl is real dull. And then March is going to be like electric. Because if you start thinking about this, right, I'm thinking about all the things that are coming up in March, right? You're going to have some major football releases. There's going to be big football product coming out. You're going to have March Madness. You're going to have F1 starting. You're going to have some big time card shows, right? And Dallas,
baby.
Yep.
Lou, you're out on Dallas?
When is it?
8th.
It's in
8th
2
and 9th.
weekends.
That's
No.
quite literally-
5th and 6th.
Oh yeah, whatever the first weekend in Dallas.
Couldn't
is.
be a worse
First
time
weekend
for
in
me.
March.
Couldn't be a worse time for me.
Is that moving weekend?
That's around the time of the move. Yeah.
Listen. We got to talk to someone?
We'll figure it out.
But it just seems like March is we're gonna have a little bit of a dull period here for a few weeks. I know we got the NBA All-Star game coming up, and then you'll have the Atlanta Culture Collision show the last weekend of February. So that'll kind of like.
Are you going to that?
I haven't decided yet. I'm hoping to go to Dallas, and Shipshewana, the card show in Northern Indiana, in March 20, whatever it is, like 26, 27, 25, 26, something like that. I'm hoping to go to those two, but I know there's a couple big shows that weekend. Like I think the Mint's that weekend, and there's a show in Phoenix. So there's a few different ones, but I'm hoping to go to Shipshewana that weekend. But I know Atlanta's coming up. Dallas is coming up. Seems like we're going to get full swing of shows here pretty soon. So again, I think I'm excited for March once we get past this couple week lull.
Have y'all heard of this? You touched on the All-Star game, the GLeague Ignite, and what's going on there.
Mhm.
So there's a team. So there's the G League. There's a team in the G League that's like, for lack of better terms, and please, I love the people that come in the comments and help like actually bring some more factual situation. They're almost like a Harlem Globetrotters of the G League in the sense of like they also play outside the league. They're for like pretty much up and coming prospects that aren't going to sign a G League contract that are going to go to the NBA, but they go instead of like senior year of high school or college. So it's just one team that plays the G League. Some of those players are playing in like the Rising Stars. So there's this kid, Scoot Henderson, that plays on the G League Ignite team. That was a top high prospect coming out of high school, playing on this G League Ignite team, getting paid, and he's going to play in the Rising Stars game. And he's not eligible for the draft. Like he's going to be an NBA draft prospect, and he's playing in the Rising Stars alongside LaMelo.
So
all these
who
players.
do they play against?
They play exhibition matches. They play the G League, and then I think they'll go international. It's like a development thing.
Is this like the thing where
Crazy.
they were saying like they're gonna start being able to pay kids who like can't?
Yeah, they're
like,
signed to deals.
That's wild.
I never heard of that.
Pretty cool.
In the Rising Stars.
And so this
game,
dude, Scoot Henderson's like a real prospect.
Huh.
And he hasn't gone through the draft. It's not like he's a G League player. He's a prospect, and he's playing in the Rising Stars.
Is he going to have cards in the upcoming G League Overtime, Topps Chrome or any of the upcoming G League products?
My gut says yeah. Let's see if he's got something out there now.
That's crazy, huh?
I don't know.
Costa Kufo's on this team.
G League custom made.
Buckeye Legend.
Buckeye Legend.
You see Costa Kufis?
It's pretty cool.
I say legend.
That is very interesting. And Amir Johnson's on this team. This is crazy.
Right?
It's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Sneaky. Yeah.
Drafted players. Jalen Green played for them last year.
I believe next year's Super Bowl is in Scottsdale.
Yeah, Arizona.
Love Arizona.
Same weekend as the Waste Management Open. That's going to be in Scottsdale.
That'll be a
that
madhouse.
is every year, and that's Madhouse. So just trying to get that PGA Tour in there a little bit.
Go to that on the Sunday morning and then go to the game in the evening. That's it.
The old double up, yeah. Bachelor party paradise.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I think we've got to talk about the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, not the outcome we had. I had hoped for. I don't know about you guys, but was hoping my man Joe Shiesty would have got it done. Get the ball back a minute 44 seconds. You're thinking, okay, this could be good, but at the end, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Von Miller is tough to overcome, and the Rams won. But curious your guys' thoughts on the game.
The Cincinnati Bengals were a wonderful story. I really enjoyed their whole situation all year long. They were kind of like in hindsight now, it's easy to call them like kind of like a ragtag group of guys. Like somehow this team made the Super Bowl. They probably could have lost in the first round and they somehow made it to the Super Bowl, which is pretty insane. They were also an unbelievable cover machine. They covered again on Sunday. So that was great. And I love that. But I think it speaks to like how crazy the NFL is. Like, you look at the odds, I don't even think they're necessarily like favorites to win their division next year. Like, it's kind of crazy how it can really flip for a team like them. But then like the Rams is an unbelievable story too. Like they built their team so strange, and now all these guys, like there might be like the coach is retiring, Donald might be retiring, Von Miller's leaving. Like it could
Which coach?
Really... McVay.
Retiring?
There were
potentially, that's the rumor.
Yeah, there were rumors. He said after the game, no, but there were rumors coming out before the Super Bowl that he could win and ride off.
He didn't say no. He didn't say no. He said, "Oh, I'm enjoying this right now." He's going to be John Madden. That's the whole rumor.
He's going to be John Madden.
That's like the idea that he would like go be a.
I respect it. I mean, he's clearly a stud. 36-year-old. Is there a rookie card of him? Yeah, he's
like.
Good.
Yeah, just a crazy game. Unfortunate.
He could do the John Gruden without the last part.
Yeah,
where he just
I said John Madden because that was famous. Like
the precursor.
Yeah, that was
the quarterback room John Gruden move, and then he goes and does a 10-year, $100 million deal.
Yeah,
leave for 2 years, and then everyone wants you back. It's the old Urban Meyer trick.
I mean, the part that doesn't make a ton of sense to me is like he has like the ultimate job security now. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, so I don't really get it unless he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Maybe he's not wired that way. Sometimes job security isn't all what it's made out to be. There was the game. Yeah, I don't know. The runs, the 2 runs, Perrine. You go to Perrine on third and one
twice.
Just didn't feel like the play, to be frank. They were running the ball kind of well, but
yeah, I don't know why you take your best players out in situations like that. I think you've got to be willing to lose the game with Mixon on
throwing it.
I don't get it.
Deep to chase at the very least.
It's the Super Bowl. Like why are we taking Joe Mixon off the field? Yeah. Why is Joe Mixon coming off the field?
OBJ would have won MVP. We know that, right?
Oh, for sure. He was locked in early.
Yeah. And it's all about narratives.
You hate to see it, right?
We also did say, and this is my last point, we did say wild card teams get hot.
Card Talk was very clear. We saw it all very clear. We saw it all very clear.
Have we seen a dip in Shiesty cards?
That was going to be my question, Ryan. I saw your tweet about how he's going to be the hottest guy at the National. I don't necessarily agree with that.
He may not be number 1A, but I have a hard time believing he's not 1B or C. Like, just think about like what the National is, right? The National is typically pro football. Like, I mean, like pro in terms of like that's what people are looking for. They're looking for football. It's a couple like typically the Hall of Fame game is that weekend. Like the season's coming up. You want quarterbacks. They run the card market. Like, I don't know who else would be hotter than the guy that in his first full year starting post ACL tear, who's won a Heisman and national trophy and been to the Super Bowl, would be hot. I mean, Herbert, Josh Allen, Mahomes, like those are the guys I would probably make an argument for. Maybe somebody else like Russell Wilson or Rodgers if they get traded or go somewhere else. I just have a hard time believing there's not a hotter person there than that person than Joe Burrow. Again, I'm open to ideas, but that's who I think it would be.
I'm going to make a statement. The tide has already begun to turn on him in terms of public narrative about him as a human. I think it might be weird vibes for him come this summer.
Couldn't disagree more.
Who?
Joe Burrow.
What do you mean? What's going on?
The vibes were getting like really weird. People talking about how he got too much love all week. It was his first year starting. All of this stuff.
My man got sacked 70 times this year.
And
took the Bengals to the Super Bowl.
I don't
know what else you like want.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that the narrative over the week of the Super Bowl became about how there was too much Joe Burrow love, and everyone needs to calm it down. And then he had a 40 quarterback rating in the Super Bowl. So just putting it out there. I don't really even agree with it, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, a team that's went to the Super Bowl with no offensive line, the third most sacks ever in an entire season, has $58 million in cap space, and the best young wide receiver over the last 2 years. He's up there with Justin Jefferson. He's got to be one of the best receivers in the NFL that's under the age of 22 years old. Like, you got an awesome running back. You've got T. Higgins. Like, they're a couple pieces away from being one of the top 3 to 5 teams in the league. I'm not saying they would beat the Bills or Chiefs again, but they've got to be up there. What?
The Bills?
The Bills are a good team. You don't like Josh Allen. The Bills are really good. I hate the Bills. I'm a Patriots fan. The Bills are really good.
No, you're not.
Yes, no, I am.
Listen, I was going to just say I'm buying Josh Allen over Joe Burrow.
The Bills have...
Because I think if you look at their for 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, I think the Bills have a much higher chance, Josh Allen, of getting it done than the Bengals right now. And I think Josh Allen is on a buy low, sell high, and I think Joey Burrow is on a buy high right now.
Yeah, I think Burrow stuff's gonna.
That would be my take.
Burrow stuff's gonna dip. I just going into next season when it's August or July 27th when the National comes around in 160 days. When that happens, I just think Josh Allen, I think Joe Burrow is going to be in the same conversation as anybody else for most desired person at the National. When someone comes up to your table and they're like, hey, do you have this? One of the conversations near the top of the list will be Joe Burrow. I think it'll also be Josh.
Have like 17 nicknames. It's pretty cool.
Would you rather have a Joe Burrow or a Josh Allen colored blast?
The money.
That's not what the question was.
Yeah, the money.
Joe Burrow.
That wasn't the question.
Joe Burrow, personally.
But everyone has a lower pop.
Oh my God, you're so annoying.
I know who you'd rather
have. That wasn't the question. I don't think you do.
So like Josh Allen or Joe Burrow NT?
Sure, add a 99 NT.
It was color blast. But...
it's the same thing. It's the point stands.
Right this second at current prices, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Tyler said, Joe Burrow stuff's really hot. And Josh Allen's going to be a bargain compared to where Burrows are at. That would be my only difference.
To your point, desirability, Joe Burrow might end up just being the coolest cat. The Bengals, the orange and black, it's always been a thing. He wears like cool shades and whatnot. Josh Allen's a little upstate New Yorkie.
Person, like there's not a lot to
New Yorkie is a great way to describe him.
He is a little upstate New Yorkie.
There's just not a lot to not like about Joe Burrow. He seems like a likable, marketable dude.
I agree. I love him.
So I think that's going to matter. Again, we talk about it a lot. Like, marketability matters. There's a reason Kawhi Leonard isn't the best-selling NBA person. He's won multiple titles with multiple teams, locked down LeBron at 21 years old, 23 years old? Like, stud. He's just not a marketable guy. Like, your marketability has to matter. And, like, that it does matter in cards.
He's no Peter Parker. That's for sure.
That's for certain.
He's no Peter Parker.
All right, we do want to announce the winner for the Super Bowl prop bet contest. So I think there was 12 picks. I got 2 of them right. I think Tyler got 7. Lou got what? Lou 6.
I had 6.
Yeah, so I lost. But
Good job, Ty.
LRG cards won with 9 out of 12. He lost.
He lost Stafford,
Stafford for MVP, and
no
Neal.
Neal.
Yep, he had everything else. So,
Blue
LRG
Gatorade
card,
was a lock.
What'd you say?
Blue Gatorade was a lock.
No,
If the Rams won.
Yeah, disappointing.
Which they did.
It would have been orange for the Bengals. That's where
Yes.
I went. These guys are too smart now.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
And they all have the color-coded Gatorade squeezers.
Yep.
Definitely feel like I got
Yeah, fly on the wall.
let down on the Super Bowl. I mean, all the reports were that this, she was going to fly through this, and then the, backup singers come in and extended an extra 10 seconds, and
the backup singers destroyed the national anthem. I was so upset.
So, definitely disappointed to not hit the under there. But congrats to LRG Cards for the win. Lou, you got something on your mind?
No, I thought Tyler did.
I was going to make a comment about the national anthem. Hold.
All right, let's get into some Facebook Q&A. So these are questions from the Card Talk Facebook group. So first question is from Josh Lindquist. Says, will any of the old cartoon cards catch momentum? Street Sharks, Lion King, Batman, Ninja Turtles, etc. We used to get them by the box for a couple dollars a few years ago. Fun for the kids.
What is Street Sharks? Do you even know what that is?
Yes, and I brought it up on the show, and I literally was going to say I'm so fired up that he led with Street Sharks. Street Sharks was like my favorite.
Can you pull it up on the screen?
Oh, I will. 1 second. But to me, Street Sharks is more figurines than.
That was going to be my point here. I think a lot of the Marvel cards just kind of disproves my thesis, but I always have trouble with these because it's I feel like a Street Sharks or a Batman or a Ninja Turtles is more of a comic book thing than it is a card thing.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a long-term investment type play. This seems like a knick-knack you collect because you enjoyed.
So Street Sharks were dope, by the way. Just throwing it out.
Yeah, so it was Ninja Turtles and Batman.
Yep, I agree.
Ninja Turtles, by the way.
What'd you say?
I think Ninja Turtles of them all has the best shot. Okay, Street Sharks, no. I don't see it happening. I don't know who owns the IP.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, bro. Street Sharks with the big shoes. There was the cartoon. They just pulled up in the street. They were sharks.
Trying to look this up.
Lion King. I think Lion King's got a little juice, but I don't put it as much collectability in terms of cards. Disney does their thing with plushes and Disney World and all that.
No, I've never seen this.
Ninja Turtles, I could see cards more so, but they were also action figure-ish. But Batman, I mean, we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah,
that 66 set is real. I think that's around and here to stay.
All right, so Darren Young says, favorite part of the Super Bowl halftime show? 50 Cent hanging?
To be honest, 50 Cent hanging was my least favorite part of it. Because I thought the execution, it was the thing I was most excited about. And then when it went down to him, I feel like the sound mix was off just for the part where it's like,
yeah, the most important part. It was the
most important part. It was just all messed up. And I think he was struggling a little bit. And it was like,
how long was he hanging upside down like that before they showed him on
had
the
to have been a little bit.
I can't even imagine. I'm gonna say this: I'm not a big halftime show guy, so I didn't really get it was cool, but it was not that big of a deal. But I thought the Kendrick part was cool. I just really like Kendrick.
Yeah, see, I didn't grow 50 Cent and Eminem were more guys that I grew up with. I wasn't big on Snoop or Dre and I never really got super big into Kendrick. So, and I wasn't big into I feel like if I was 5 years older, it would have been a little different for me. But Eminem singing "Lose Yourself" was cool, but it was great. I loved it. I mean, it was super cool to be there and to see it live. It was crazy. The place was rocking when they played California Love. It was cool.
I also saw a funny tweet about how it was somebody was basically the joke was like all the people are at like 25 to like 35 were all really excited, but it's like, oh yeah, normally it's old people, and now it's for us, and it's like, damn, actually we're the ones who are getting old, and it's a funny realization that like the music you like is now old, considered old and everything. It's,
I think it was dope. I mean, at the end of the day, we had people crip walking on a national stage, and like it just shows that I think there's been a lot of progress made from the last 20, 30 years. And I thought it was epic. I thought it was so epic.
I agree.
It was
very cool.
like, that was my shit.
Yeah.
I was literally upset though, because I got the rumor about 50 and he was going to do the hanging. And like just the moment where In the Club comes on was like, I felt the only part where the mix was off. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah. I also felt like, I thought he should have done like, 'cause they were going for that video. He should have done the whole thing. He should have had like the vest on and everything. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Huh. It was pretty cool. I thought they did a really good job with it. Smallville Sports Card says, with football over, what is your focus going forward in the market? Basketball, footy, and F1 are probably the cards that will see the most interest. Sorry, Lou. Baseball is lagging so far behind it isn't funny. Love the show, guys. Keep making plays. P.S. Michigan still sucks. I feel like there's a couple deep shots at Lou there. Like a couple. Deep out of like left field.
I'm just here trying to have a good time, and I'm just getting attacked from all angles, as usual.
I mean, hit him with the baseball
sucks. You're the worst. I hate you.
Is not using the M in Michigan like a new thing?
Oh yeah, like Michigan week, you block out all the M's.
Got it.
Stupid.
Brother, you call us Ohio. Like, let's not talk about anything.
Georgia fan.
You're a Michigan
not Ohio
fan.
State?
You're a liar.
Georgia fan. Brian, you got a lot of balls talking about other people not being fans.
I said I'm a Patriots fan. I started this show.
Anyway. With football over, what is your focus on?
All right. I actually don't think, like, if baseball makes some progress on the talk, I would imagine baseball to pick up.
You're lagging a lot, but you're coming back, I think, now. I think I heard you say baseball's coming back a little bit.
Am I good?
If they make progress on the talks, baseball will come back. Yes, that's true. It doesn't seem like there's any progress on talks, so I wouldn't put too much energy into that.
So Lou, where are we at on that then? Like, is baseball not going to start? Is baseball not going to happen? Like, do you have any insight on that?
Pitchers and catchers were supposed to report today, so spring training is going to be delayed. That's just the fact of the matter. The question is how much of spring training gets delayed and how much of the regular season gets delayed. I would think they're going to miss a few regular season games, and then they figure it out.
Okay.
That's what I think.
So where's your guys' attention going to go?
My attention is pretty much exactly what he laid out. I mean, I'm like really about to go tap in on all things footy, World Cup. The next 8 months for footy, I guess the next 10 months were mid-February. You got Champions League. You got the closeout of the domestic races. Then you got a new fresh season. You got transfer windows in the summer, which will be big. Mbappe, Haaland, all the biggest players kind of ready to be on the move. And then you roll into the World Cup. I'm really focused on footy. F1, personally, I don't know F1. I'm really excited about F1. What I'm trying to figure out is there more to it than the two guys? Is there real collectability in the 10 through, is it 20 racers, 24 racers?
20
what is it?
20.
Is there collectability to be had in the 10 through 20?
There is.
And where's the marketability? Like I think there is. That's kind of the questions I'm asking myself as the cars are rolling out right now. We talk about marketability, colors, the orange wave has been a thing. Obviously he's the main guy, but like I'm thinking I think Lando Norris, the long straw, like what are the things going into this F1 season from a 10 to 20 place racer that I can get in the mix with is kind of where my head's at on F1.
The interesting part about F1 is I know we talked about this before because I know Lou and I talked about Sapphire boxes being a play a while back. But like the thing about F1 is not only is the product right with a certain amount of, since you have serial numbered cards, it makes the production limited. But there's only 20 drivers. How many guys are on a pro basketball team? 15 on a roster, on an active day roster? right? There's only 20 drivers. There's only 20 people in the sport to collect. There's obviously upcoming guys through the ranks. But I think that's another interesting part about F1 that makes it exciting. Now, F1 stuff is also very, very hot right now, especially going into the season. Like some of those cards are up a significant amount from, where they were 6 months ago. I still like, he mentions, football's over. Like, cool. What's next? Like, I still think football is going to be very interesting the next couple of months. You're going to have the draft, but you also don't have the major football products. We've mentioned this every week for the last 7 or 8 episodes we've done. You don't have Prism. You don't have Optic. You don't have Select. You don't have National Treasures. You don't have Flawless. Like, those cards aren't just going to come out and be worth nothing. People are going to want a Mac Jones Prism Gold. They're going to want a Zach Wilson, Select tie-dye RPA at a 25. That's going to happen. So is it going to make football a play when it comes out in May and it's not as hot as it could have been if it came out in October? Not sure. We'll see. I think soccer's got potential, like Tyler said, with all his points there. World Cup coming up. It's going to be interesting.
On F1, do you guys know off the top of your head or even roughly how many different drivers won a race last year?
I think it's 5 or 6. Because Lewis and Max won the lion's share, obviously, and then I think there was a few more slipped in there.
Yeah.
But it's also like, Ty, like when you get into it, you'll start to see it's like podiums matter and and the quals matter, like the Saturday drives matter, all that stuff. So
totally. I that's what I'm just trying to, I don't have like my angle.
And then they also did this. Do you know about the sprint races?
Yeah, they changed. Yeah,
where it's like a little like a different weekend almost type of.
They changed. Yeah, they do a thing on Saturday called the sprint race, or Saturday. I can't remember what it was. They do another race called the sprint race, and they give out points 1 through 8 for the sprint race to keep it more interesting throughout the season, so more teams can get points.
No, I like it. I'm interested in seeing. There's going to be a couple random guys. I mean, I don't know, but when I see Max, I'm like, who's the next one? Because Lewis dominated for so long. That's so tough. I think if we're talking about a 2-3 year window and he's out, I don't see Max just being this dominant force. I see Definitely it becoming more of a 3-4 player thing, mainly because what we talk about, like it's entertainment, it's Netflix. Like they're not just going to want it to be 2 guys. That gives up kind of leverage on what F1 can build. So that's where I'm at in F1. I want to look at 10 through 20 of the racers and see who I think can make moves.
All right, Tim Morrow says, is chasing a gold Franco in Series 1 worth it? Excited to rip Series 1 for the chase, but afraid of spending too much for the thrill. So
it's complete gambling. No different than walking into a casino.
Assume you're not going to hit the card you're looking for. Right, assume you're not going to. So
yeah, especially talking about that card, you're better off just saving your money and just buying one when it hits eBay.
Just buying one, yeah, 1,000%. If you like, you said you're excited to rip it for the chase. If you're okay with not hitting it and spending the money, then go ahead and go for it. But go into it assuming you're not going to hit anything.
Yeah, there's actually like no argument for it, because if you actually want the card, there's no argument to just wait for you to rip it. Like you're gonna get it faster, you can slab it faster, like all that.
Yeah, it's simply not worth it to chase it.
Unfortunately, it's just not like that's just the way it is.
Yep. All right. I believe it's Shay Gregory says.
Next question.
Make a new section of the show called Jay Plays.
Absolutely not.
Tyler had nothing. Have you guys had any? So Corey Ludwig says, have you guys had any interest in the Panini blockchain NFTs with the 2022 foot release? I have not personally looked at any of the Panini blockchains. I have a couple of the Prism basketball ones, but it's not something. I'll be honest, it's not something I've spent a lot of time looking at. Any of the blockchain cards.
Yeah, I got tagged over the last 48 hours a bunch in some Mbappe NFT foot releases. I own a lot of NFTs. I own none from Topps, Panini, Candy. I don't own any officially licensed NFTs. I'm not sure I'll go there. I guess Panini, I had a couple when we went down. We did a little bit and checked out the product, but I don't know. I think that they're physical card companies, and I'm waiting to see the rollout a little bit more on the NFT side of things.
Well, aren't they? They're also like not actual NFTs, right? Like we've talked to them about that.
I think the Panini. I don't want to speak out of turn. I think that they're doing a better job. Like to me, it's not necessarily around the tech; it's around just the interest in collectability of sports cards on chain. I'd rather go after Mbappe physical cards personally.
Agree.
Austin Vela says thoughts on around increasing the number of numbered and non-numbered parallels seemingly year by year. For example, Topps Chrome in 2016 had 12 different parallels. In 2021 had 20. Yeah, I mean, it's no secret, right? We would be lying if we're like, yeah, this is a major surprise. We've seen this year over year. It seems like there's a slight increase year over year in number of products and number of cards in products. It seems like both of them have been increasing. If you look at I know football and basketball a little bit better than the baseball, so I can't speak as much to that. But if you look at the basketball specifically, look at the basketball products over the last couple of years, there's definitely a lot more select basketball parallels, mosaic, parallels than there was when they first started to come out. In addition, there's also products that are full product lines that started in things like Chronicles, things like Flux or Recon. Those are new products, right? Clearly, Donruss football is coming out. That's never been a product. It's not new. I'm not surprised by it. And it's not something I anticipate will go away anytime soon.
My perspective on this is that I would rather there be more parallels than less parallels and the cards cost even more. That's my perspective.
It's a good point. Yep. Because Lou, you bring up something interesting, right? If they go back to the 12 different parallels and they only have 12 different products. They can only
print so many boxes. They can only print so many cards.
They're going to be even more expensive. I mean, it's expensive now when there's a lot of stuff. Imagine if there was half as many.
Yeah, it's just pretty big. Like either that or there's going to be a lot more base cards, or they need to take things out of your hobby boxes. Like you can't have one guaranteed auto. You're going to have less parallels per box, a lot more base cards. Like that's all a piece of the puzzle if you take away the parallels.
I know it's a bigger conversation for another day, and it's something I would love to talk about more. But it seems like some point in the near future, the guaranteed hit, especially autographs, will be more rare than not rare.
I think there will always be a guaranteed hit in a hobby box. I don't think
so. There are products now that are not guaranteed hits.
I'm talking about like a tier 1 release.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Athletes now are signing a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of products. They're signing a ton of different things. As athletes become more and more aware of what their autograph is worth and what it's worth when they sign a lot and a lot and a lot of stuff, what that will mean to how much they sign, how frequently they sign, things like that.
Which is also why at the moment I'm hesitant on the Panini blockchain stuff, because I'm very bullish on over the next 18 to 24 months, trains getting back on the track. Like the explosion created a lot of change in the hobby, in the industry. Layer that with COVID, layer that with supply chain issues, layer that with acquisitions of 50, 70-year-old companies, how companies mold, all that. Panini may still be up for sale, Upper Deck, who knows? So I think a lot of this is going to get cleaned up. The take is that I believe these companies have been squeezing the extra demand. They have to do it somehow. They're running businesses. It's like, if Ryan, your store has gotten a lot busier, you've had to go out and get a lot more inventory, and you have to adjust with the times. But I do think we're in this kind of this period right now of 18 months of Topps is moving to a new company. They got to get their shit together. Is Panini going to be sold or acquired or merge with something? So I'm not reading into it too much in terms of a continuous, or is it just going to be stuffing more parallels? I think there's going to be a big reset. I think there's going to be a understanding with the IP of why are things on the blockchain, why are things physical, Are they going to be equal 1-to-1? What are autos going to look like? What is access going to look like? That's my take. I'm just looking ahead.
Cooper Poma says football's over. Now to F1. What are you looking forward to most on and off the track? The new 2022 cars, new drivers on new teams. Thoughts on 2021 flagship F1, first time relics outside of dynasty. All around, how are we feeling about the F1 market heading into the new season?
Feel great. I think it's gonna be a big year. I think a lot more. I think people like Tyler, who were like generally aware of the sport previously, became more aware of it in the last year, are now going to be tuning in on top of the people who did start getting tuned in last year. I think it's going to be a really big year for the sport in general, just in talking about the sport and its popularity and viewership and all of that stuff. From a card perspective, I'm extremely excited about the 2021 product for a number of reasons. I want to know what it's going to look like when there's more stuff available. I want to know what kind of new stuff they're doing. I think they're going to try I would imagine they're going to try some different stuff in Topps Chrome this year in terms of like inserts and things like that, because track tags are cool, but they're kind of like not that interesting, to be honest with you. So I would hope there'll be some cool inserts. And obviously the new cars are going to be great. And then it's the twilight of Lewis Hamilton's career. So I'm very interested to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I would echo a lot of what Lou said. That's pretty spot on. I think you're going to see a lot more people get into the sport that were on the cusp of getting in already. The way the season ended last time is definitely going to set up for a big
tragedy would happen.
a big start to the season. I'm not the F1 expert. I've never claimed to be, so I don't know as much about it, but I'm curious to see how the new rules, from my understanding, the level the playing field with how they build the cars and engines and stuff like that is like. I'm curious to see how that plays out. Will there be a lot more competition? Lou mentioned earlier 5 or 6 drivers won. Is that going to be a 10 number this year? Will it still be low? Curious to see how that plays. Like you said, Topps F1 flagship's going to have relics. What is the demand going to be for the newer stuff, and how is that going to affect the demand for the first releases like Chrome and Dynasty and Sapphire? A lot to look forward to. Exciting. What's George Russell going to do next to Lewis? Is Lewis going to like push him back and just say, hey, it's still my team, I'm still going? Or is George well,
the part I think that's interesting about George, and I'm interested to see how people react to this in the car world, is like just naturally he's going to be on the podium more. Like it's just the way it is. Like that's just the way their team operates. I would imagine Mercedes stays near the top. So if him having more podiums, being in the top 5 at least way more often, I think is going to do a lot for his popularity.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Ty, any immediate thoughts?
Miami. Card talk live from Miami.
I'm in. 100% in.
Yep. May 6th, 7th, 8th.
Is that when it is?
Yep. I got it locked in the calendar. Yep. That's what I'm excited about.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Sorry, nope. That's Dallas. May 6th is the Friday.
Yeah.
Locked in.
That's what's on my mind. Live from Miami. This is Card Talk.
All right, so that's all the questions from Facebook. Nice. Shout out to everybody who submitted questions this week. If you guys have not checked out the group, check it out on Facebook. It's Card Talk Pod. All right, now let's get into Play of the Week. Last couple of weeks have been some of the best ever, so it might be tough to top those, but we're certainly going to try. All right, this is a long one. It is from the Cardboard Collaborative. He says, my play of the week is a little unorthodox, but I think it falls under the Card Talk umbrella. Back in October, I bought a sealed copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Great game. I've been looking for one for a while to get graded for my PC. This listing popped up with a generic title and stock photo. It was priced way under market, so I gave it a shot, not knowing what I would get. Ended up being a first print copy in good condition. I sent it off to WADA to be graded, and it came back at the end of January as a 9.6 with an A+ seal. I was into the game and grading for about $155. There was only one comp, and that was an 8.5. That was sold at Golden. I threw it up on eBay at a high buy now price just to see what offers would come in, and not fully wanting to sell. Had someone reach out to me on Instagram, since my eBay name is the same, which everyone should do. That's his advice, not mine. A little
technically against the rules.
Yeah. A little back and forth, and we came to a deal at $1,150. After fees, I cleared about $960 profit. The offer was just too good to pass up. Photos to follow. Sent pictures, buying the game, $32 on November. The return window was closed. So that means he would have bought it on like October 16th for about $32. It's pretty crazy.
I think it's a great play. It's an all-time game.
All-time game.
They're remaking it this year.
Yeah.
This year is Modern Warfare 2.
I love the play.
I love getting a first print off a stock photo eBay buy.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't know enough about games or how you would be able to tell that, but that's pretty crazy.
It's usually on this is what I've learned. It's like underneath, like, you know, when they have the ESRB on the side right over here, there's like some information about like copyrights or whatever that like tells you what it is.
Interesting. Yeah, good play.
He copped it for the PC. It was a bigger piece than he expected. Sold it. I like the flip. On the eBay name as Instagram name, feel like that. I mean, so what should people be doing if they are now creating an eBay? My issue is I created my eBay, I think, in like.
You can always change your name.
On eBay, your username?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You think they got Tyler available?
Probably not. No.
Damn. That makes it tough.
I don't think that one's available.
But you know what they might have is Tyler on IG.
As the eBay handle. I don't like it.
If someone on the show has a name like that, that'd be.
Card Collector 2 on Instagram. DM me there if you want to do a deal off platform. Is that his username?
15,000 eBay score. All right.
Oh, what a flex. 15,000 eBay score.
We do have 15,000.
These are fire. Let's go.
So this is from FFolk_Mitt, I think. It says play of the week. Bought this Wiener Landis World of Sports set on January 17th of last year for $24.03 after tax. Sold them for $350 on February 4th of this year. Hated to let them go as the art is amazing, especially the Ali, but can't turn that down. Thanks, Tim.
These are
So
cool.
I don't know much about these. They look like cartoons of, it looks like Pele, Muhammad Ali.
It's Pele, Ali, and that's Andretti.
Look like Michael Jackson.
It's Mario Andretti. F1.
It literally
F1
look like
vibe.
Michael Jackson.
Is that Andretti? Was he F1 or? I'm going to flame for this. F1 or NASCAR? IndyCar? Indy 500?
From where I'm sitting, that does not look like Andretti.
It is definitely Andretti.
Well, look, he's clearly holding a racing helmet.
Yeah, it's definitely Andretti.
I don't have the screen blown up here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh, he was in F1 too. I didn't know that.
That's a game changer.
Did you do a little bit of both?
Michael Jackson vibes.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from with that. He did both?
He actually did all three.
I love these just on spec. Well, that was my reaction. I think these are beautiful. The Ali's a little off center, left, right. But these remind me of a play that I've always loved, which I think is still a dollar box play at shows, which is Sport Kings.
Yep. I was going to say this looks like Sport Kings.
Which is, Goody Sport Kings. I think that there's a lot of upside in stuff like this. Vintage, old, legends, alt. Sport Kings isn't alt, but there's a lot of like OG.
They're bringing out a new Sports Kings this year.
Yeah.
PSA 10 Andretti did $550 on eBay.
I've passed over too many like, hey, I want to buy that Sport King at a show, and I end up passing on it, and then I see it doing numbers 4 months later.
All right, Jay, next. All right, this is from Riot
Track
Holes.
tags.
He says, purchase this Topps Chrome Formula 1 Sebastian Vettel track tag gold out of 50 for $70 on a Facebook group, and wasn't planning on selling since he has my PC, but got bored and listed it on eBay for $1,000. Buy it now. And 30 minutes later, it was sold and paid for immediately. After fees, I took home a profit of $803. Don't sleep on F1, especially for a 4-time world champ.
Got bored and made $800 in 30 minutes.
That's a nice board play.
Got bored, paid for like a brand new iPad.
Is that really what that card's worth?
Yes, bro.
That's wild.
Track tags, I think they're I don't think they're the coolest cards in the world, but I think they're the only inserts that exist, which is why I think they're gonna do cool ones this year, hopefully. People love Vettel. He's like widely loved in the F1 community. And then the golds are just obviously extremely hard to come by. It's got the authenticity guarantee on it.
4-time world champ, F1, first year F1 Chrome, Ferrari, gold. Like this has a lot of plays. All right. Next one. Oh my goodness.
Hannah, what are we doing?
Hannah from She Collects Cards. Wow. So this is a long read. It says, all right. I bought the entire set of 1984 Panini Grand Prix F1 Superstars. It's a set of 64 original cards, including 2 Senna scratch and plays, rookie Tolman portraits, and 2 Senna scratch and play rookie Tolman car cards for roughly $15,000 from a Dutch auction site. Huge shout out to Jack, Sun Sport Trading Co., and Ray, the Blake 58, for tipping me on this auction and educating me on the unique Senna rookie set. It was a risky move as the condition of the cards couldn't really be predicted in the low-quality images that were presented. As you can see in the photos, the cards are in a very old binder, and the acetate cards seem to even to be stuck to the sheets. A few days after I received the notification that the package had been shipped from Italy, I received another text alert from UPS that it was held at customs and an audit is being processed. I just remember telling them I can supply them with whatever documentation needed. You can open the box, but please, for the love of God, do not touch the cards. They probably thought I was crazy. I nearly cried after opening the package and seeing the perforation on the cards, which indicates that the card wasn't tampered, cut with scissors to make edge clean. Keeping my fingers crossed, after $2,600 later, I sent 2 1984 Grand Prix Tolman Hart Senna portraits and 2 1984 Panini Grand Prix Tolman Hart cards to PSA. Here are the return subs. PSA or Portrait 1, PSA 6, Pop 4, including this card. Portrait 2, PSA 7, Pop 1, highest card graded. Car 1, PSA 6, Car 2, PSA 6. Not to mention, I still have 60 cards left in the set, including many other legendary drivers. For reference, a PSA 6 of the Senna portrait sold for $30,000 on PWCC, and a PSA 5 of the Senna card sold for $3.6K on eBay. She has a 7.
I think we know who won Player of the Week.
Yeah, you can
I think we've
ahead.
solved
Jay
it.
need to show us what's left. It was a novel, but it was worth it. That's insane.
That is unbelievable.
Never heard of these cards. Never seen these cards. That's insanity.
A Dutch auction site.
This is top 5 play ever.
Oh, for sure it is.
Top 5 play ever.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable time. We've had some amazing plays, some really, really, really good ones over the years. Some incredible plays. This is a top 5 play.
I love calling the customs people and being like, please do not touch
these cards.
High conviction play. 15 G's on a Dutch auction. Ain't no
now, hey,
matter.
We do got to talk about this. This is probably she left this out there. This is probably a throw a bone to Sunsport Trading Co. And the Blake 58 though.
You do have 60 cards left in the set raw.
You do. Tom said you do have 60 cards left. 60 cards raw left in the set. Maybe swing those on over to wherever they live.
You do for sure.
Little 50
I wanted to get your thoughts on something. 30 PSA 6 at the time was highest graded. Seems like there was 3 at the time of the sale. This is the 4th. Now that there's a higher, does that devalue the 6 a little bit? And so maybe you don't get the same like exponential. What I'm trying to understand is like, okay, because the 6 went for 30, are we assuming the 7? I think the 7's more 35 than like 60. because the 6 comes back a little bit.
I don't know about that. I don't know enough about the card to make this could be 100K.
I just mean in the macro kind of when you see that.
I mean, because the selling point on the 6 at the time is, hey, this is a pop 3 card, none higher. Then whenever this, when was that? It doesn't say the date, but let's say it was a month ago. A month later, it's a pop 4. So there's one more in the pop. The pop goes up a decent percentage. And there's one higher. That definitely changes the argument about the PSA 6, but it makes the PSA 7 more desirable. There's nothing in the world graded higher than the 7. I think while it brings down her 6 a little bit, the 7 becomes the ultimate card.
Yeah.
I mean, this card's from 1984. I mean, it's almost 40 years old.
Exactly. And you're not going to see
There's only five in the world graded 6 or higher. She owns 2 of them.
That's sick.
I mean, she owns 40% of the most of the top 5 graded card of this in the world. Like,
and what's a beautiful thing is with vintage and cycles, and makes me think about the question about Street Sharks and all the Marvel stuff and all that is like the market of who is collecting Senna cards are by and large just in a better spot from a spending, like they're high spenders. It's not like a Luca. We're not talking about like a Luca something. He's been in the league 2 years prospecting. It's the Gary, like always was just on vintage from the jump for reasons like this. Like, you're not changing my man's career. There's people who watched him, love him no matter what, and are now in a bracket of being able to deploy disposable income. Is also nice on this.
Yeah, it's
not like some random Luca insert.
Yeah, the audience for the sport is more affluent, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for sure. All right, so Hannah, amazing.
We have another one. Oh, man, I feel bad.
Sorry. We'll still give this one some credit because this could be a good one. It says, this is from Johnson V Cards. It says, never thought I'd be submitting a hockey play, but here we go. On December 19th of 2021, a ComC seller I'd gotten deals from in the past was listing a bunch of Tuukka Rask cards. I had no idea who that was, but quickly looked him up and figured I'd at least monitor what the seller posted. I don't know much about hockey cards, but I knew enough to jump on this 2007 Young Guns rookie out of 100 when the seller listed it for $12.97. Oh my goodness. Since he was slated to make his season debut in early 2022, I capitalized on the attention and submitted the card to auction via ComC consignment. It sold on February 3rd for $300. After $2 in processing cost and $10.50 in auction fees, my net profit was $274.53.
I know nothing about hockey, but when I see an of 100 Young Guns, I mean, that's kind of not a bad strategy, to be honest.
Yeah, those are rare, man. The out of 100 exclusives rookies, those are tough.
Yeah. It's a good.
Yeah, I mean, heck of a play. Gotta love all. I do this on eBay a lot more than I do it on ComC, but I love save the sellers you get good deals from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, save them, especially if they're terrible titles or things like that. Save them. You can save them as saved searches, and then when they list stuff, you can get notified for that. It is a play in itself to, go back to the well. Once you get a good deal, they're listing more good deals more often than not. Go back and find them. I love the play.
And even just reputable dealers, right? Like, doesn't even have to be about if they're not good at listings or whatever. Like, by and large, people that buy with you, I imagine, like to come back to buying with you.
Sure. I'm saying it's if you got a deal from that person once, what's to say you won't get a deal from that person again?
Mm-hmm. Hockey in general, I don't know. I think the ESPN thing has already had more impact than people realize. Their number 1, I guess number 2 cover, Emily Kaplan, grew up with her, went to high school. She's dominating. She does like the side, like in between the boxes. So I'm
one of the few hockey people I follow.
Yeah. And combine hockey with vintage, I think is even more sneaky.
Very cool.
We'll be shocked at like Mario Lemieux, but think about Mark Messier, Pavel Bure.
Jay, is there another one?
What about Patrick Elias?
Nope, that's it.
Doesn't do it for you as much.
He does. He was a guy. He's a Jersey guy.
All right, I think we're pretty clear that Hannah wins, right?
Yeah, I already.
Unbelievable. I already DM'd her.
I said, nice play this week.
Unreal. Truly
Incredible
unreal.
play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Dutch auction site's the craziest part of the whole story.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, though, like, shout out to her friends for like, hey, you should check this out. Like, they didn't take it. They're like, hey, this is what this is. This is where it's at. Like, this is, I mean, man, I gotta follow those guys. Those sound like good people. All right. This week's releases. Formula One racing, Topps flagship F1 comes out this week, Lou.
First non-relics outside of Dynasty.
Correct. You've got Top Series 1 baseball with Wander Franco rookies, another big-time baseball release. You have Donruss Elite Basketball, Panini Immaculate Soccer, and Leaf Pro Set Power Football. Big release week. F1, Top Series 1 baseball, Immaculate Soccer, and basketball product, and a Leaf football product.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Big release week.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about how Ryan was ripping packs with Trevor Lawrence last week.
I agree.
And Deebo Samuel.
That's something.
Trevor Lawrence was one of the nicest people I've ever met. Honest
Really?
to God. Could not have been a nicer human being.
That's good to hear.
Deebo Samuel had no interest in being there. Was a nice guy.
It's okay. You get the check.
Todd Gurley was a top 1A or 1B and one of the nicest athletes I've ever met in my entire life. Could not have been more interested in cards, and like the conversation we were having was like attentive, curious, fantastic human being. I don't have enough good things to say about Todd Gurley as a person. Todd
really
Gurley
cool.
fan for the rest of my life. Go Dogs.
That's
These Georgia
amazing.
guys, they just print out stars.
Yeah, and we had a conversation with Gabe Davis for the Bills. Talked to him about his game, right? We're talking about like cards. He's not into it.
So
Told
you
him
talking about how it's over?
No, I did not. Talked to him about the Joe Burrow, $500,000 cards, and that like blew his mind. Had a Genesis PSA 10 we gave away of him, and I was like, "What do you think this is worth?" He's like, $100, and I was like, "Oh no, it's like $500-$600." He's like, I said 5. He's like, 1,000? I said, no, 500 or 600. He's like, who's paying that? So I was like, it's your card. So he was definitely a little thrown
It's
off.
funny how it varies, right? Like there's some people, like there's some athletes who get it because they're just aware of it generally. But if you get someone who has no clue and you're like, yeah, a picture of you on a card is selling for $600, you're like, what? Like it just blows people's minds.
But yeah, so Todd Gurley was
eBay in general below. I think any search on eBay of anything will make people be like, "What?"
Yeah. Sure.
You just show them the sold listings. They're like, what?
Well, like just Google Tervis cups or just eBay Tervis cups. People are just paying $40 for some collect. It's nuts.
So I didn't post this picture. The picture didn't turn out very good. But Reg and I took a picture at SoFi, went into the game, and sitting next to us, I bought 25 programs from the game. And she's like, you married a collector when you have bags full of programs from the game. Because we went to the game and you couldn't get tickets. Like all the tickets are digital. So I'm like,
they made NFTs out of them, right? I think I saw that.
I heard that. I haven't looked into it yet, but they wouldn't.
You got to lock that in.
There's no printed tickets. So I'm like, the only thing printed from the game is going to be these programs. So I bought 25 of them, and we're carrying these big, heavy ass bags all the way. I mean, it was miserable. I'm not built for carrying, 30-pound bags of programs.
How was it getting out of there? I heard it wasn't that bad.
Oh God. That's a lie.
Really?
Miserable. Miserable. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it would normally be like getting out of SoFi Stadium, but if it's anything like that, it was miserable. Wow. Miserable. Yeah. It was packed.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
you got to do the NFT ticket thing, bro.
Yeah, I got to figure that out, brother. I'm not in that space. That's foreign language.
Let me see. Google how to make your Super Bowl ticket and NFT.
All right, Chad, let's let the people go. Lou's sitting here spinning in circles. You're looking at that. I've got to run. So we're going to wrap it up.
I kind of looked like that F1 driver is
or
what
not.
Jay's saying.
Or not. We're just going to sit here and
No, I
can
want
talk
to
all
hang.
day.
We have 4 minutes.
I gotta go. I have a hard
You're
stop.
busy. It's like
At 11.
Ty, brother, you came in 15 minutes late vibing.
That's
brother.
true. That's true, Ty. You are late all the time.
All the
We were
time.
ready to go. If, we would have had 15 minutes to spare.
True.
Just trying to hang for 3 more minutes. Sorry.
Hey, Ty, no real
Honest.
talk, though. Shout out to your dog for not whining the whole episode.
I know. Where's
Seriously.
he at?
Like, my dogs would have definitely whined, brother. That's amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
Got the fresh St. Patty's Day
Love that.
look
I mean,
going.
seriously, shout out to him or her. Like, A+.
Love
Who's
it.
the man? He's doing this thing.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
What an episode.
Let me end it with this. Sancho is on the comeback.
Peace.